Welcome to India. I'm in Dharamsala. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying your day. Uh, really sunny, beautiful day here. A little cloudy on top of the mountains, but maybe you can see them behind me. Today, I'd like to talk about practice from the perspective of a frog, or the perspective of three different frogs. First, let's start with the story how to boil a frog. When you put a frog in a pot of water and just turn up the temperature slightly, the frog doesn't notice and the frog will eventually boil. And if you start the water and get it to a rolling boil and then throw a frog in, these are all hypothetical situations. You don't need to try this. And then you throw the frog in, the frog will jump out immediately. So how do we apply this to our life and to our practice? I think we notice when something changes abruptly and there's resistance towards that. But it's these little things that sort of stack up over time that we don't notice. So when you're practicing physical asanas, or you're practicing mindfulness, or just in your daily life, you begin to become aware of your patterns. And that's something that yoga really helped me with, is becoming aware of my patterns. I noticed this really in my diet. As soon as I cut something out of my diet, I really notice how much better I feel. But in general, like for the last 10 years, I've always been saying, oh, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. At 35, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. At 36, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. But I know I definitely have some naughty tendencies when it comes to diet, specifically chocolate and cakes and sweets, that if I don't notice them in my body, but if I cut them out, I would definitely notice them. So keep this frog in mind. The second frog, it could be the same frog. This could be one like famous mindful frog. I don't know. The second frog is at a stream and he's minding his own business and he's about to cross the stream. And along comes a scorpion. And the scorpion's like, I'd like to go to the other side too. Can you give me a lift, please? And the frog says, no way. You're a scorpion. And scorpions sting. You're going to sting me. And the scorpion says, listen, I know scorpions sting. You know scorpions sting. But I promise you, I'm not going to sting you. I'd just really like to go to the other side. Can you please help? So the frog thinks about it and says, listen, you seem like a nice scorpion. You're the nicest scorpion I've ever met. But I can't. I just have a feeling that you're going to sting me. And the scorpion says, okay, I understand. Maybe you've had past experiences with scorpions, but listen, I promise, we get to the other side, we go our separate ways, no one's getting stung. I just really want to go to the other side. So the frog says, okay. And the scorpion gets on the frog's back and they start going across the river. And about 3/4 of the way across, the scorpion stings the frog. And the frog says, hey, you promised. And the scorpion said, listen, I'm a scorpion. I can't go against my own nature. And again, for me, the takeaway from this story is trust your intuition. Scorpions are going to be scorpions. Frogs are going to be frogs. Even sometimes, can you think about yourself in the seat of the scorpion? not necessarily how you are in relationships, but sometimes how you can sting yourself. Okay, the last is a poem. I hope I can remember it. It's a Buddhist poem. It's a Zen poem. And it goes like this. Old pond, frog jumps in. I'll say it again so you can write it down. Old pond, frog jumps in. The pond is old. The pond represents your life. And again, the frog is just doing frog things. It is the frog's nature to jump into the pond fully. It's not like me when I go swimming in May at someone's cottage, and I tiptoe in and I wait and I get to my like ankles and I get to my knees, and the whole affair takes an hour. In your life, this story tells you you really have to engage fully. You really have to jump in. So when you think about your practice, go all the way. When you think about your practice, notice the little patterns. And when you think about your practice, trust your intuition. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me.